Hi, I'm Alan. This is Alan's Firearms and Guns Plus More. And this is the Taurus 92 AF. And what is this gun? This is basically, Beretta made a deal with Brazilian government to produce Berettas for their army. The deal, though, was they had to build a factory there and use Brazilian workers, which they did. They built the factories, they trained the workers, they built the firearms, and then when the contract was done, Taurus bought that Brazilian Beretta factory from Beretta. Well, they also bought the American factory from Beretta. Taurus now owns the Beretta USA and Taurus Brazil, both their factories, and with it came the rights to build this gun plus the PT-92. They made some changes to it, though. They took the safety off of the slide and they put it on the frame. A lot of people feel that was a smart and better way to go. It has everything else basically is the same. You know, it's an 18-round magazine. It's a pretty cool firearm. There is no decock. This is a very old model, so there's no decocker on it. Basically, so you put the safety on, and that's about it. You can decock it manually and put the safety on, and then fire it double action. But there is no actual decocker on. Later, they did add that feature in the SF. This is 9mm parabellum. So without any further hoopla on a gun with no hoopla, let's go to the workbench and take this puppy apart. Okay, so here we are at the workbench with the 92 AF. Very simple gun to take apart. Of course, the first thing we want to do, we want to remove the magazine. Pull the slide back 3 times, look down the chamber and look down the magazine well. We now know the gun is safe and we can take it apart. So there's a button right here. You see that big button? With this finger on here, we push that button and then we take this, it looks like a dial with a handle on it. We're going to take this handle right up there. We push the button on the other side, pull that down, and the gun just comes apart. This is the gun that you've seen in the movies that they just grab and take apart, and you can't do it, okay? That's movie stuff. Everybody who always says that, oh, you can take that gun apart with certain guns, you can just grab that and take it apart. It won't happen because the person's going to be shot before that happens. So cut that shit out. Okay, so now we just push that forward and lift it up, and this spring comes right off. And this spring will go on either way, you see, either way. And we now have the barrel we can take out, which you just push in this little piece like that, and you can lift the barrel straight out. Okay. Now this piece, we don't have to take out. We can clean it while it's in there. Little strike hold action. I use strike hold, everybody. If you know me, you know I use this. If you don't, go to one of the 2 strike hold videos I've done. You'll learn all about it. It's a CLP. You just put this on. You clean your gun with this, and you don't have to do anything else. It'll be oiled and protected. That's all I'll say about it. I will show you how to lube this gun as if you're using standard plain cleaner. I'm going to wipe off the barrel. Cleaning cloth. First I'm going to go down with a bristle brush. It goes all the way through. All the way through. That'll loosen up any of the dirt. I'm going to push this through here. Pull it through. Push. Pull it through. Now I'm going to do 2 more with the brush and run this through 1 more time. Now the barrel is nice and clean. I don't know if you can actually see. Look at how that glows in there. Isn't that great? Okay, let's get the other parts. So I'm going to take a stick, I'm going to take a clean cloth, and I'm going to go up and down the rails inside, or the slots inside the slide. So now that the slots in the slide are nice and clean, I'm going to take this, I'm going to wipe down the rest of the inside of the firearm. Use this to get down into the areas I cannot reach with my fingers. Now, what's very important, and I say this on all the guns that we clean together, is we get the battery nice and clean. You can see the battery on this gun. See that? I'm going to clean that off in here. And I'm going to make sure I get underneath the extractor, because we don't want any dirt right in the extractor, because if there's dirt in the extractor, it can ride up over around, and you can end up with a failure to feed, or worse, you could pull that slide thinking the gun is empty, and there's one in this chamber, and you didn't look down it because you didn't follow, or somebody didn't follow safe gun handling, and the worst case scenario is you get a discharge of a live round because it was left in there. Okay, if you're wondering, can that really happen? I've been the victim of it. I almost got shot because the person, one, didn't clean his gun properly or had a defective extractor, and when they pulled the slide back, they assumed it was safe, and they pulled the trigger and it went bang, almost blew my foot off. Okay, so there we go. That's clean. I've mentioned that in a couple of other videos, so some of you already know what gun it was. I'm not going to repeat it. It's not necessary. I'm going to wipe down the follower, and we're going to go in and we're going to get in underneath the feeding fingers. Okay, that's an integral part of this firearm. Okay, one last thing. We have the frame. So let's get some, I'm going to wipe down. First I'm going to get every place that I can get with my fingers. And then, look at that, a lot of dirt. Get a rag and put it on the stick. I'm going to get down into these slots on the frame. Get the rails on the frame, the parts that stick up. This is the ejector. It's a good time to check it and make sure that it's all nice and straight and there are no breaks or bends or cracks in it. That's the part that kicks the round out of the gun. Once the extractor pulls the casing out of the barrel, that's the part that actually kicks it out of the gun. Now we're going to get inside here. What's really important, any place you touch with gun cleaner, if you're using traditional gun cleaner, you have to then touch with oil to deactivate it. Because if you don't, you're going to have a problem, because gun cleaner keeps on going. Okay, so it's all clean, and now we just have to oil it. So take a cloth, 3 drops of oil, 1, 2, 3. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put oil on the areas of the guns that really need lubrication. So on the barrel, I'm going to get it into these slots on here. Now I don't put gun oil directly on a gun because it's not great for the gun. Too much oil, all it does is it gives dirt a place to go. Okay, so now I finished oil lubricating where I needed to go with oil. Now I'm going to wipe down the barrel and every place that I touched it with cleaner. Okay, remember I made sure I got the ramp here nice and clean, the chamber nice and clean, and then I'm going to push this through and make sure I get my barrel oiled. That deactivates the cleaner. Now, the frame, 3 more drops of oil, and we're going to, this is the places it needs lubrication. The slots on the rail itself, top, sides, bottom. So you want to make sure you get all this. And once that's all clean, then you could just take what's left of the oil and wipe it down on the interior of the gun. Every place that you hit it with cleaner, you need to hit it with oil. And it doesn't have to be, you're not oiling it, you're just deactivating the cleaner. The oiling part you did on the places that actually hit metal to metal. Wipe down the inside. Same way I did it with cleaner, I'm going to do it with oil. Because if you don't do this, if you don't deactivate the cleaner doesn't stop working even when you wipe it dry. And it will eventually eat away the finish of your gun. Okay, look at that. I got a lot. That also took out some dirt. I must have missed a spot, so I'm going to take some cleaner and I'm going to go back after that area and then I'll hit it with oil again. The frame, get a fresh clean piece, oil, 1, 2, 3. And of course we lubricate the areas that actually need lubrication. So the frame, the slide slots, both sides. And then we can just wipe down the rest of it with our fingers. Get into those tight areas with your stick. You want to make sure that you turn off all of that. Okay, there we go. Okay, and of course your spring. Now, let's put this, very important, we want to hit the magazine with oil, and especially underneath those feeder fingers with oil. Remember we got cleaner underneath them? You want to get them again with oil. Okay, so spring goes on there. Take your barrel, drop it in. Okay, put your spring inside the front. Guide this forward. You may have to, I have to change the angle because, so I'm going to pull this back into the, and it goes right in like that. I had to change the angle because the spring is pretty heavy, so I wanted to do it where you could see it, but I was going to get it in there. So that's on. Match up your rails to your firearm. Bring this on. Now, very important, we're going to pull this and lock it back, push our button in, flip our switch back, that's that switch, we flipped it back up, we locked it, and now we can drop that, and it works. Let's check function. Okay, there we go. Hope you enjoyed these old Beretta 92, the field strip and clean of the Beretta 92 AF. Please like and subscribe, and until next time.